एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर। ये चैप्टर हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं विद अवर न्यू वीडियो सीरीज, जिसमें हम हर टॉपिक को वीडियो बाय वीडियो कवर अप करेंगे। सो इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड अप योर प्रिपरेशन फॉर जेईई नीट इन अ वेरी स्ट्रांग मैनर, तो इस वीडियो सीरीज को जरूर देखें। सो अभी हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं चैप्टर के साथ। सो ये चैप्टर हम शुरू करेंगे विद डेल्टन्स एटॉमिक थ्योरी, बिकॉज डेल्टन वाज द फर्स्ट जिसने ये एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर का कंसेप्ट ही स्टडीड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड गिव a very strong scientific proof. So and this theory proposed by Dalton is called as Dalton's atomic theory. और ये theory आपको some basic concept वाले चैप्टर में easily आपको वहाँ पर मिल जाएगा, जहाँ पे उसके points जो list down already किए हुए। After Dalton's atomic theory, it was very clear कि हमारा कोई भी अगर एक matter हम लेते हैं which is a bulk quantity, it will start dividing that matter into smaller particles. उसमें जो हमको सबसे छोटा particle मिलेगा उसको हम कहते हैं atom. Atom means non-breakable or it is non-divisible. So this was the theory which was proposed by Dalton in 1808. और इसके बाद काफी टाइम तक this theory was accepted. But इसके बाद में there were many scientists which were continuously doing their observation, experiment and many other things in order to understand the nature of atom. तो ये हम चैप्टर स्टार्ट करेंगे एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर विद सम एक्सपेरिमेंट्स, और उसके बाद में हम देखेंगे कि ये एक्सपेरिमेंट की वजह से there were many challenges which were in front of these scientists. जैसे कि challenges the first कि अगर कोई भी हमारा एक atom है, so if it is giving you subatomic particle, how is the atom stable with respect to subatomic particle? सबसे पहला challenge आएगा to explain the stability of atom. Now the second challenge is कि how do we compare the chemical and the physical property of different elements? So this is the second challenge. And the third challenge is how we are able to form a different type of a molecule by combining. So the fourth challenge is how atoms emit radiation and what are the characteristics of this radiation, electromagnetic spectrum. So these are the challenges which were in front of those scientists who discovered the subatomic particles. So हम शुरू करते हैं with our first experiment, that was the cathode ray tube experiment, which started this thing that हमारा atom को further we can divide it and we can get subatomic particle. Now let's first understand कि subatomic particle का understanding कहाँ से शुरू हुआ था. It was seen that there are many substances, for example glass or ebonite, when they are rubbed on some surfaces, और उसको अगर हम कभी पास में लेके जाएंगे so it will get some charge. So ये सारे substances में when we are rubbing it or when we are moving then we are moving it to some other substances, how it is getting charged. So this was not able to explain by Dalton's atomic theory. तो ये सारे ऐसे बहुत सारे events हैं which made scientists curious about how this substances or how this matter are behaving in this manner after we know that atom का understanding हमको वहाँ तक already था. So this led to the discovery of many subatomic particles in 20th century. But हम इस chapter में we will study only about the two major subatomic particles, which is one is electron and second is proton. हम ये दो subatomic particles के बारे में we will study. Now let's start with the first experiment, which is cathode ray tube experiment, and it was done by J.J. Thomson. So J.J. Thomson का ये experiment, that is cathode ray tube experiment, is based on Faraday's concept which he was doing for the electrolytes. So cathode ray tube experiment, or it is also called as discharge ray tube experiment, and many other names are given, like we'll stick to this name. अब cathode ray tube experiment में है क्या? Let's first look at the setup. यहाँ पर हमारे पास सबसे पहले यहाँ पर glass tube जो कि हम यहाँ देख सकते हैं, जिसके अंदर we have two electrons जो हम देख सकते हैं. One is called as cathode, which is actually on the left hand side, or we can say on the negative terminal, and other we have as the anode, which is the positive electron. Now these two electrodes are externally connected to a very high voltage, which is approximately taken as 10,000 volt. So this is the voltage of a very high value. इसके बाद में you can see here there is a vacuum pump here on the top side of the glass tube, where it is just present in order to maintain the pressure of the gases which we see in this glass tube. So अभी एक्सपेरिमेंट स्टार्ट करने के पहले ये ग्लास ट्यूब के अंदर हम कोई भी टाइप के गैसेस ले सकते हैं. एग्जांपल, लेट्स टेक हियर हाइड्रोजन गैस, एंड लेट्स से ऑल द हाइड्रोजन गैस आर फिल्ड इन दिस ग्लास ट्यूब. ठीक है, सो ऑल दिस डॉट लाइंस आर डॉट्स आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग H2 molecule. Now as soon as, let's see the start of experiment, as soon as a very high voltage of approximately 10,000 volt, ये जैसे ही हम शुरू करेंगे, so the current will start flowing from the negative part towards the anode, towards the cathode. और जैसे ही यहाँ से हम देख सकते हैं like as soon as the electron start moving towards the cathode, it will experience a very high negative charge, और ये चार्ज ये अपने नेबरिंग गैसेस मॉलिक्यूल को जो भी प्रेजेंट होंगे उनको बहुत ही हाई स्पीड में हिट करेगा, और इसके वजह से ये होगा कि लेट्स से इफ वी से हमारा एक एटम है and if it has some negative charge, जैसे ये हमारा एक नेगेटिव चार्ज पार्टिकल है, और यहाँ पर जैसे ही एक वेरी हाई स्पीड में कैथोड की साइड से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आ रहा है और ये नेगेटिव चार्ज पार्टिकल को हिट करेगा, सो वी नो दैट सेम चार्जेस विल रिपेल। तो इसीलिए कैथोड का नेगेटिव चार्ज और इस एटम के अंदर जो ऑलरेडी एक नेगेटिव स्मॉल चार्जेस प्रेजेंट, सो दीज टू विल रिपेल ईच अदर, एंड सिंस the cathode charge is very high in speed also, so it will just remove this negative charge out of the atom, and this will lead to the formation of the atom, let's say this is having a negative charge। तो इस तरीके से एक एटम के अंदर से we can remove the negative charge by applying a very high strength of potential difference from the cathode side, और जैसे ये गैस मॉलिक्यूल को हिट करेगा तो उनमें से all the negative charges will be removed now। अब जैसे ये नेगेटिव चार्जेस एटम में से रिमूव हो रहा है तो डेफिनेटली ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड वी हैव अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉजिटिव इलेक्ट्रॉन, एंड ये जितने भी नेगेटिव चार्जेस थे ये सारे के सारे एनोड पे जाकर के कलेक्ट हो जाएंगे। नाउ टू इंडिकेट द प्रेजेंस कि हाँ ये सारे जो नेगेटिव चार्जेस एटम में से निकल रहे हैं वो एनोड की तरफ मूव हो रहे हैं, सो वी अप्लाई फ्लोरेसेंट मटेरियल टुवर्ड्स द एनोड, टुवर्ड्स एंड ऑफ एनोड, at the end of anode in this side, on this end there is fluorescent material is applied, and this is zinc sulfide, ZnS, which is a fluorescent material which is used in order to indicate that there is presence of some charged particle, because जैसे ही कोई पार्टिकल चार्ज पार्टिकल हिट करेगा विथ हैविंग सम मास, जैसे वो हिट करेगा जिंक सल्फाइड को, इट विल क्रिएट अ स्पार्क, और जैसे वो स्पार्क आएगा सो वी विल कम टू नो कि हाँ इसके अंदर inside an atom we are having some negative charges। So this was the experiment which was done by Thomson, and he gave the proof that yes, atoms do have some negative charges inside them which has charge also and which has small mass also, and this led to the discovery of first subatomic particle which is called as electron। Now let's see what are the observation which is made from the Thomson's experiment। So first observation, all the negative charges were started moving towards the anode, that is towards the right hand side। So यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं all negative charges, and let's say here it is electron because Thomson gave it name as electron because it was again based on the concept of Faraday। So let's say all electron from atom start moving towards second is the nature of the gas does not have any effect with the strength of the electron move, that is this experiment is independent of the nature of gas। आप कोई भी gas लो you will get the same observation। So here we can say that nature of electron is independent of gas in experiment। okay, लिख सकते हैं in experiment, ठीक है। And the third point is that these negative charge particles were deflected in electric and magnetic field। So here we can say the cathode ray, let's say negative electron deflected in magnetic field and electric field। So electron और the cathode ray इसको हम कहते हैं because cathode ray is nothing but the ray of electron only। So cathode ray deflected in magnetic as well as electric field। So this was the third observation। Then the fourth observation is, and fourth point is that it is independent of the nature of electrode। So cathode ray is of nature of electron, nature of electron। So these are the four important observations which was made by Thomson after his cathode ray tube experiment। So with this we got our first subatomic particle which is called as electron। Then later on Thomson found that here we can say that Thomson J.J. Thomson found first. Thomson found that the charge and the charge by mass ratio of this electron, it was coming as 1.78 into 10 raised to 11 coulomb per kg. Okay, so this was the value which was observed by Thomson, and later on we will see that how we can get the value of charge and how we can get the value of mass of this electron. So जैसे J.J. Thomson ने अपने experiments में proof कर दिया था that atoms are made up of some subatomic particle, और उसको उन्होंने proof किया that the first subatomic particle was electron, which is negatively charged particle. और इस electron के लिए Thomson ने he had given E by m value, that is charge by mass ratio, which is nothing but you can see on the screen 1.78 into 10 raised to 11 coulomb per kg. जैसे J.J. Thomson ने E by m का value दे दिया था हमें, so at that time it was the next step was to find the value of charge on electron and the mass of this negatively charged particle, and this was done with the help of Millikan's oil drop experiment. उनका बहुत ही simple सा experiment था that it took a container in which there were certain openings on the top of the container, और उनमें से ये started dropping the oils, and as soon as the oil were coming inside the container, the container was continuously supplied with X-ray. The X-ray की वजह से there were many negatively charged particles sticking to the drop of the oil, और जैसे वो oil नीचे आ जाता था, so Millikan was studying the charge on this particular oil droplet. So ये ऐसे multiple oil droplet के लिए, let's say this is the top part of the oil container, फिर यहाँ से जैसे एक ऐसा multiple oil droplets were coming, और इन सब oil droplet का separately was studying the charge, like एक particular oil drop में कितना charge है, दूसरे में कितना है, and it was found that all the oil droplets were integral multiple of some value. All the oil droplets were having integral multiple of a value which is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So ये value से we were able to get the charge on negatively charged particle, which is nothing but electron. So let's see the value was obtained for the charge of electron. By Thomson, we got the first value as E by m is equal to 1.76 to 11 coulomb per kg. By Millikan, it was found that the charge Q is equal to E. The charge was found as 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Now definitely by using 1 and 2, ठीक है, by using these two equations, ME can be calculated, that is the mass of electron. It can be calculated as E divided by E by ME, and in this manner if you put these values, so this will give you like 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 divided by 1.76 into 10 raised to 11, and this is coulomb per kg, so this will give you 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. So this is the value of mass of electron. So with this we had come to know कि हमारे एक atom के अंदर negative charge particle है. Negative charge particle का mass is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, and the charge on this particle is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So ये तीनों जैसे हमको observation मिल गए थे. So after this we will study about the atomic models, जो कि हम यहाँ पर 4 atomic models देखने वाले हैं, which is first is Thomson's atomic model, second is Rutherford's atomic model, third Bohr's atomic model, and fourth is quantum mechanical model, which is accepted till now. और ये चारों ही atomic model में जो भी next वाले होंगे, it will be better than the previous one. So in this manner we will see to it throughout the chapter. So Thomson's model, it is also called as plum pudding model or watermelon model, and sometimes it is also called as raisin pudding model. कि कई सारे उसके नाम हैं, but actually meaning सबका एक ही जैसा है, similarities हैं. So Thomson ने ये बताया कि जो एक atom होगा, it is nothing but a 3-dimensional spherical shape होता है. अब इसके अंदर there will be 2 type of charges present. एक होगा positively charged, which is uniformly distributed inside an atom. एक atom के अंदर positive charge uniformly distributed होगा. अब जो दूसरा टाइप का चार्ज होगा which is negatively charged electron. This is present inside the atom in such a manner that it has the maximum electrostatic attraction. इलेक्ट्रॉन को इस तरीके से हम एटम के अंदर प्लेस करेंगे, इस तरीके से प्लेस होगा जिसमें मैक्सिमम इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक अट्रैक्शन एटम के अंदर होगा. This model will give you, or this model will explain you So इस तरीके से Thomson said that all the atoms will have uniform distribution of positive charges. साथ में there are negatively charges present inside the atom so that it will give you maximum attraction, electrostatic attraction. So although this model was able to explain the neutrality of an atom, कि एक atom neutral in nature होगा, but it was not able to give you further idea about the nature of atom. So that is why atomic structure of Thomson's model was having a very limited application. So this is our first and the simplest form of atomic model, including subatomic particle, which was given by Thomson, and it was given in 1898. After this, we will see our next model, which is nothing but Rutherford model. Before starting with Rutherford's model, we will see a very interesting experiment which was done by Rutherford, which is called as gold foil alpha particle scattering experiment. So let's see that experiment before going to the next model. So now let's see Rutherford's alpha particle gold foil scattering experiment. So यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं now we can say, let's say, gold foil experiment by Rutherford, and this experiment can make the diagram. So this is the diagram of a alpha ray gold foil experiment, in which here we can take it as, so here we can take it as this is the alpha particle source. So on left hand side we have alpha particle, which is nothing but helium nucleus of the alpha particle. Then this is actually a lead plate, which is just present in order to have a beam of light, because you know that जो भी हमारे particles होते हैं, they can move in all possible directions. So this lead plate is present just to have a straight beam of light concentrated, and on the end we have a gold foil. तो यहाँ हम देख सकते हैं alpha particle में alpha particles are coming from the lead plate, from the source to the lead plate, and finally it is arriving at gold foil. So now with Rutherford, उनको ये observation, this was the expected observation that कि since जो थॉमसन ने मॉडल प्रपोज किया हुआ है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अगर हमारे पास एटम है स्फेरिकल इन नेचर है एंड यूनिफॉर्म पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्जेस आर प्रेजेंट, तो उसके वजह से अल्फा पार्टिकल जैसे ही एटम के पास आएगा सो इट विल आइदर पास थ्रू इट, या तो फिर थोड़ा सा वो डिफ्लेक्शन दिखा सकता है. It has the ability to show certain level of deflection, but to his surprise, he found that most of the alpha particle passed undeflected. To his surprise, he found that most of the alpha particle passed undeflected. So यहाँ पर जितने भी alpha particle pass होंगे, so they will be, most of them they will pass undeflected, showing no deflection at all. Some of the alpha particles showed a deflection about certain angle. थोड़े से angle की कुछ deflection observe हुए थे. And very few reverted back to the source, that is deflected by 180 degree, very few. So this was the three important observation that he got. So first यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं, let's see यहाँ पर एक और straight line बना लेते हैं, that 180 degree deflection. So let's write observation. So first observation is most alpha particle passed undeflected. Then few alpha particle deflected by certain angle. And very few deflected by 180 degree. They were deflected by 180 degree, coming back to the source. So these were the three observations which was done by Rutherford. अब इसके बाद में he concluded important conclusion. यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं next is the conclusion. So after you observing these 3 points, so he said that most of the space inside an atom it is empty in nature. जैसे कि थॉमसन ने बताया था, it is uniformly distributed, like masses are uniformly distributed. But in Rutherford he proved that most space is empty. Inside an atom, most of the spaces is empty. Then we have a very, यहाँ लिख सकते हैं, all positive charges all positive charge occupy very small space in atom. That means atom के अंदर बहुत छोटा सा space जो होगा, it will be occupied by all the positive charges, and later on it was named as nucleus, again by Rutherford itself. So this was the gold foil alpha particle scattering experiment. This led to the development of a second model, which is called as Rutherford's nuclear model. So let's see that model. So now we will study about the Rutherford model, which was given after the failure of Thomson's model. This is also called as nuclear model, which was given by Rutherford. यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं Rutherford. So Rutherford said that the first point is, so Rutherford में first point ये है that he said कि एटम का जो साइज होता है उसमें जितने भी पॉजिटिव चार्जेस है या जो मोस्टली हमारे एटम का मास डिटरमाइन करते हैं, दैट विल बी प्रेजेंट इनसाइड अ वेरी स्मॉल रीजन ऑफ द एटम, and then he said this small region of the atom as nucleus. Okay, all positive particles and mass of electron is present in a very small part, present in a very small portion of atom called nucleus. So this was called as nucleus. So ये पहला point हो जाएगा. Now the second point he said was the electrons are revolving around the nucleus just like the planets are revolving around the sun. He compared the nucleus with the sun and all the electrons as the planets. So he said electrons are revolving with high speed around nucleus. The third point, he said that there is an electrostatic force of attraction between the central nucleus, which is positive in nature, and the electron, which is negative in nature. So यहाँ हम लिख सकते हैं the electrostatic force of attraction is present between electron and nucleus. So these are the 3 points which was proposed in nuclear model of Rutherford's. ठीक है, so ये 3 point की वजह से the Thomson's model was not accepted, and to somehow he was like Rutherford was able to explain the nature of atom. There were major drawback in Rutherford's model that Rutherford was not able to explain the stability about the atom. So यहाँ पर हम देख लेते हैं like what are the drawbacks of a Rutherford's model. So let's say, so यहाँ पर we will see drawback. So the first drawback was stability of the atom, not able to explain stability. So what stability of atom? So according to Rutherford, he said कि अगर हमारे पास सेंटर में लेट्स से न्यूक्लियस है, इसके आसपास इलेक्ट्रॉन कंटिन्यूअसली रिवॉल्व कर रहा है. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू मैक्सवेल्स थियोरी, मैक्सवेल सेड कि कोई भी अगर चार्ज पार्टिकल कंटिन्यूअसली रिवॉल्व करेगा एंड इट इज अंडर एक्सेलरेशन, सो डेफिनेटली इट शुड एमिट रेडिएशन. और अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन रेडिएशन एमिट करेगा कंटिन्यूअसली, सो इट विल लूज सम एनर्जी विच इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द इलेक्ट्रॉन इटसेल्फ. तो इसकी वजह से क्या होगा कि जो साइज ऑफ रोटेशन है इट विल कीप ऑन डिक्रीजिंग, और एक टाइम आएगा व्हेन the electron will collapse inside the nucleus, and this will show that the structure which was proposed or the model which was proposed by Rutherford is not stable in nature. In fact, इसको अगर हम diagram wise देखेंगे, so it will be, let's say if this is a nucleus and this is a electron, so if electron will start revolving, so it will make a spiral path, and then after some time it will collapse inside the nucleus, and it will only take around 10⁻⁸ second to collapse this electron inside the nucleus, which is a very small time. Now let's say अगर हम ऐसा कंसिडर कर लेते हैं कि जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है इट इज नॉट having or it is not moving around the nucleus, so that here the situation will be like nucleus center में है और इलेक्ट्रॉन एक स्टेशनरी ऑब्जेक्ट है. अब स्टेशनरी होने की वजह से न्यूक्लियस बीइंग अ वेरी हाई पॉजिटिव चार्ज इट विल पुल दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन टुवर्ड्स इटसेल्फ, अगेन द साइज ऑफ एटम शुड श्रिंक. So in either cases, whether the electron is revolving or the electron is stationary in nature, in both the cases Rutherford's model was not able to explain the stability of atom. Now let's see the second drawback, and second drawback was, which is the major drawback, that he does not, this model does not explain about electron distribution inside an atom, in an atom, and its and energy of electron, so although he said, like Rutherford ने ये बता दिया था कि इलेक्ट्रॉन they are continuously revolving around the nucleus, but he was not able to explain कि ये इलेक्ट्रॉन कौन से पोजीशन पे न्यूक्लियस के रिस्पेक्ट में या एटम के रिस्पेक्ट में कौन से पोजीशंस पे प्रेजेंट है, एंड अगर वो जो भी पोजीशन पे प्रेजेंट है व्हाट इज द एनर्जी ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन. ही वाज नॉट एबल टू गिव एनी आइडिया अबाउट दीज टू ड्रॉबैक्स. सो दैट इज व्हाई ऑल्दो Rutherford model was successfully able to explain that Thomson model is not correct, but Rutherford model was not able to explain about these two important drawbacks for which it was not accepted for a very long time. So this was our second model, which is Rutherford's model, and पहला हमने देखा था Thomson's atomic model. So these are two models. Then we will see our next model later on. But for now, we will see our next topic, which is atomic structure. In this video, we will study about atomic number, then mass number, and then we will see isotope and isobar. So सबसे पहले देखते हैं हम कि what do we mean by atomic number. So यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं, let's say atomic number. So atomic number is nothing but, let's say जब भी हम एक एटम की बात करते हैं तो एटम के अंदर we know it has a nucleus. Nucleus के अंदर we have all the positive charges, and sum of all those positive charges inside the nucleus, it is called as atomic number. So we can say the atomic number is nothing but, let's say atomic number is represented by capital Z. So Z is equal to total number of protons. Okay, so atomic number is nothing but total number of proton. Sometime we can also relate it. In fact, जब neutral atom है तो हम हमेशा related we can also relate it with number of protons, a number of electrons, because we know atoms are always neutral in nature. So जितने proton होते हैं उतने exactly electron भी होते हैं. But we always write it as total number of proton, because electron in while doing a chemical reaction electron may get exchange, proton कभी exchange नहीं होता है. So this is our atomic number. Then second we have it as atomic mass. So let's say atomic mass. This is represented by capital A. अब हमको पता है कि the nucleus decides, nucleus has all the positive charges. Along with that, it also has the neutral charges inside it. So that is why sum of all the particles inside the nucleus, it will give you the atomic mass. मतलब न्यूक्लियस के अंदर जो भी पार्टिकल होते हैं उन सब का अगर आप मास ऐड अप कर लोगे तो वो हमको देगा मास ऑफ एटम, व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज एटॉमिक मास. लिख सकते हैं यहाँ पर दैट A is equal to total number of protons plus total number of neutrons. So इन दोनों में से हम ऐड कर लेंगे, this will give us the atomic mass. तो ये दो हमारे टर्म हो गए. Now जब भी एक एलिमेंट एक एटम दिया होगा, we can always represent that in the form of capital X. एक हमारा जनरल सिंबल होता है जिसमें we write it as, on top of this X we write it as A, which is nothing but atomic mass, and then at bottom we write it as Z, which is atomic number. So let's say for example एक ले लेते हैं, let's take carbon atom. So carbon के लिए we say it as the mass of carbon is 12 gram and atomic number of carbon is 6. So in this manner, any element along with its atomic number and atomic mass can be represented. ठीक है? So we'll now see the next one, which is nothing but isotope and isobar. चलिए वो भी देख लेते हैं. सो आइसोबार, सो लेट्स टेक फर्स्ट वन एग्जांपल और फिर उसका हम डेफिनेशन देखते हैं. सो व्हेन वी हैव लाइक लेट्स से कार्बन एटम लेते हैं एंड व्हेन वी टेक इट एज नाइट्रोजन. अब हमको पता है कार्बन का एटॉमिक नंबर इज 6 एंड नाइट्रोजन का एटॉमिक नंबर इज 7. नाइट्रोजन का एटॉमिक मास इज 13 एंड कार्बन के तीन आइसोटोप्स होते हैं, C12, C13 एंड C14. मतलब 12 ग्राम कार्बन, 13 ग्राम कार्बन एंड 14 ग्राम कार्बन. सो हियर वी विल टेक वन एग्जांपल ऑफ 14 ग्राम कार्बन. सो ये हमारे आइसोबार्स होते हैं. दैट मीन्स व्हेन एनी two atom or more than two atoms, when they are having similar atomic masses but different atomic number. जैसे कि आप चेक करोगे तो जो बॉटम में है this is the atomic number and in these two atoms the atomic number are different. So यहाँ हम लिख सकते हैं same atomic mass different atomic number. So this is called as isobar. ठीक है. अब इसी का ऑपोजिट अगर लेंगे हम, that is called as isotope. For example, let's say यहाँ पर हम ले सकते हैं isotopes. So in this first let's take an example. So example में हम ले सकते हैं, let's take hydrogen example. So it is H11, then we have H21, then we have H31. So these are the three different isotopes of hydrogen atom. So यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं that the number of proton, that is atomic number in all the three cases is same. हमारा ये जो base वाला part है, ये तीनों ही केस में it is same. 1, then यहाँ भी atomic number 1 है, यहाँ भी atomic number 1 है. But if you see the atomic mass in तीनों cases में वो different है. जैसे कि first वाले hydrogen में the mass is 1, in second case it is 2, and in third case this is 3. So here we can see. So the different part is like this one is having 1 gram of mass, this is having 2 gram of mass, and this is having 3 gram of mass. So here we can see when any atoms, like when two or more atoms are having same atomic number but different mass number, so in that case it is said as isotopes. तो यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं, let's say यहाँ लिख लेते हैं, it is having same atomic number but different atomic mass. So this is the isotope property. इसका example we had already seen hydrogen. Then ये जो second वाला case है, this is called as deuterium, and the third is called as tritium. And the first is already we know that is hydrogen, very famous. So hydrogen. So ऐसा बहुत सारे examples ले सकते हैं, like isotopes में we can also take it as chlorine, like chlorine is 35, 17 and chlorine is 37 and 17 also, and many other you can just find it out. Before starting with the Bohr's model, इनके पहले काफ़ी सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट इन डिफरेंट फील्ड्स दे वर ऑलरेडी गोइंग ऑन और बहुत सारे रिजल्ट का ऑलरेडी काफ़ी अच्छा प्रूफ मिला हुआ था. सो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज द रेडिएशंस विच आर इंटरैक्टिंग विद द मैटर, उसका काफ़ी अच्छा और मैक्रोस्कोपिक ऑब्जर्वेशन वाज ऑलरेडी देयर. Bohr considered two important concepts. First was dual characteristic of radiation, that radiation can behave as wave also, they can behave as particle also. And the second thing is experimental results coming from atomic spectra. So ये दो important concept के ऊपर हमारा the Bohr model was based. So let's see the first one, that is dual characteristic of radiations, electromagnetic radiations. So यहाँ हम लिख सकते हैं Bohr's on first dual characteristic of electromagnetic radiation, and the second is experimental result of atomic spectra. So ये दो प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर like Bohr's model, Bohr was able to propose his model. So let's see the first one, that is dual characteristic of electromagnetic radiation. अब dual characteristic में पहले हम देखते हैं wave characteristic of a electromagnetic radiation, and then we will see particle characteristic of electromagnetic radiation, और finally हम इन दोनों concept को merge करेंगे into two characteristics. So let's see the first one. So wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. This was given by Maxwell when he studied that whenever a charged particle is placed into electric as well as the magnetic field, this charged particle will continuously feel acceleration, and this will, when it will feel acceleration, it will cut the electric as well as the magnetic field. So in this case he observed certain, he got some observation, and which are as follows. So the observation which was made by Maxwell, here are, let's say the first one, यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं, by Maxwell. So the first observation was that the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other, and they are also perpendicular to the propagation of particle. They are also perpendicular to the propagation of charged particle. So this is the first point observed, कि जैसे जैसे चार्ज पार्टिकल मूव करेगा, so let's say अगर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, if the charge particle is moving on x axis, let's say electric field is on y axis, and then the magnetic field will be on the z axis. That means all three of them will be perpendicular to each other. Then second point was electromagnetic radiation do not require any medium. Do not require medium for propagation, unlike the sound wave which requires a medium to transmit. So electromagnetic radiation does not require any medium. Then third point is that depending upon the properties of a wave, it can have different values, and it will make electromagnetic radiation. So यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं, there can be different types of electromagnetic radiation forms together. They form together electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is formed. Spectrum. And we know that we are not able to see every part of electromagnetic spectrum. That means a very small portion of electromagnetic spectrum is visible to human eyes, depending upon the properties. So यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं very small portion of electromagnetic spectrum is visible to human eyes. This is our fourth point. The fifth point is that each electromagnetic spectrum, each electromagnetic radiation, they will have their own properties in which they are different from the other one. ऐसे हर एक electromagnetic radiation के पास अपनी खुद की एक property होगी जो बाकियों से अलग होगी. Fifth point, that is electromagnetic radiation of different type will have different properties. So let's say electromagnetic radiation they have properties such as क्या हो सकते हैं? First is called as frequency, which is represented by mu. So here we can see mu frequency is nothing but number of waves at a point in 1 second. Number of waves in 1 second at a particular point. कोई भी reference point पे कितने waves आ रहे हैं 1 second में, that will give you frequency. Then we have lambda, that is maximum non-repetitive length of cycle, length of wave. So जब भी हम एक wave की बात करते हैं, so इस form में होगा, like it will start here and then it will be there here. Then it will keep on continuing, like यहाँ से हमारा second start होगा और यहाँ पर ऐसे continue होता रहेगा. So यहाँ से जो भी हमारा maximum ये जो point है from here till here, that is the maximum non-repetitive length of the wave is called as wavelength. Then third, we have the speed of light, that is the speed of light. So here it is actually, it is the relation between mu and lambda. So c is nothing but mu into lambda. And then we have a fourth term b, which is called as wave number, which is actually 1 by lambda, and this is equal to number of wavelength in 1 meter length. So it is number of wavelength in 1 meter length. So this is wavelength कि अगर हमने 1 मीटर का लेंथ लिया उसके अंदर कितने वेव्स आ सकते हैं, that will give you wave number. So these are the different properties of electromagnetic radiation, और इनके properties की वजह से ही ये decide करेंगे that this property will decide कि इनको ये electromagnetic radiation पूरे spectrum में कौन सा position occupy करेगा. So these are our different properties. These are our different point which was observed by Maxwell while understanding the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. Now let's see particle nature of electromagnetic radiation. So अभी इसके पहले हमने जैसे ही देखा है कि कोई भी electromagnetic radiation होगा, it will have a wave-like characteristic. But there were many phenomena which was not able to explain by this radiation or the wave-like nature of this electromagnetic radiation, such as black body emission, then the photoelectric effect, then atomic spectrum, and so on. There were many such examples in which the radiation property cannot be explained just with the help of a wave-like nature. So Max Planck was a scientist who proposed the quantum theory, and this was given by Max Planck. So Max Planck told कि जब भी हमारे पास कोई एक सब्सटेंस होगा और उसमें से एनर्जी या तो बाहर जा रही है या एनर्जी अंदर आ रही है, दिस विल नेवर टेक प्लेस इन अ कंटिन्यूअस मैनर, मींस बैक टू बैक वो कभी नहीं होगा. इंस्टेड इट विल बी इन डिस्क्रीट मैनर, small particle by particle it will come, either it will come inside that energy will come inside the substance or it will go away from the substance, but it will be always taking place in discrete particle form. And he said the smallest particle of this energy, he said it as quantum. ठीक है. So here we can say, let's say we have a term which is called as quantum, which is smallest particle of the energy, smallest particle or part of energy. And we said that the total energy capital E is equal to n number of times into energy of each quantum. ठीक है. That means let's say हमारे पास एक quantum है, energy of each quantum when it is added for n number of a quantum, जितने भी parts बचे हुए उन सबको अगर हम add करेंगे, so that will give you the energy of that particular radiation. Then he said that the energy or the strength of the energy of a single quantum, it depends upon the frequency of that particular quantum or the frequency of that particular radiation. So here it was said that E is directly proportional to the frequency. And to remove this proportionality, we can have a constant which is called as Planck's constant. It is represented by small h. And यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं where h is nothing but 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. So this is the value of Planck's constant, and this formula is very important, that E is equal to h mu, and this will give you the energy of a single quantum or single photon. Now we know that we have a property of wave, that is C is equal to mu lambda. So here we can say this implies that energy can also be written as E is equal to h into C upon lambda, and here we can write that C is equal to mu lambda. So therefore the mu value will become C upon lambda. So here we have just substituted this value with the help of it by replacing mu, frequency. So these are the two formula that you can get to that we get to calculate the energy of a particular single quantum or single photon. So this is Planck's quantum theory. Now with the help of this theory, we can explain a lot of particle nature of a electromagnetic spectrum, such as black body radiation. So let's see what do we mean by black body. So that is when any ideal body which accepts and emits all range of a radiation, that is called as perfectly black body. That means it absorbs as well as emit all the available electromagnetic spectrum, all the available electromagnetic radiation, and that is called as black body. Now let's see one important concept, which is photoelectric effect, and this was initially proposed by Hertz. So Hertz scientist जो थे, इन्होंने ये observation start किया that if continuously beam of light is placed on the metal surface, if it is passed to the metal surface, then there is continuous ejection of electron also. So let's see, see this with the help of a diagram. Let's say we have a metal surface, this is our metal, and here we are having a light wave which is coming and hitting, let's say, electron. ये एक यहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रॉन है, तो इस इलेक्ट्रॉन को जैसे ही हिट करेगा, so as soon as this will hit this electron, so this will be ejected from the metal surface. Okay. And this phenomena is called as photoelectric effect. That is, ejection of a free electron from the surface of a metal in presence of light. It is called as photoelectric effect. Now, after this effect, Hertz made certain observation. So let's see what are the observations. First, Hertz said that there is no time lag between the hitting of a sunlight into the electron and ejection of that electron from metal surface. So here we can say there is no time lag in removal of electron. कि जैसे लाइट इलेक्ट्रॉन को हिट करेगा उसी टाइम पे अगर उसके पास एनर्जी है, सो उसी टाइम पर वो इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है मेटल सरफेस से बाहर निकल जाएगा विदाउट लॉस ऑफ टाइम. सेकेंड ही सेड दैट द नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इजेक्टिंग फ्रॉम द मेटल सरफेस, कि कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन एक टाइम पे मेटल की सरफेस से निकल सकते हैं, वो डिपेंड करेगा ब्राइटनेस ऑफ द लाइट, और इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द लाइट. सो हियर वी कैन से नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इजेक्टेड from metal surface depends on intensity of light. Then third, he observed that if you want to calculate the energy of an electron, so it actually depends upon the energy of a wave which is hitting. That means अगर frequency of the wave is more, then electron का energy भी ज़्यादा होगा. If frequency of the energy is less, then electron energy will also be less. So here we can see that energy of electron depends on the frequency of light. And one last point which you observed was fourth one, and the last important point is that कि let's say जब भी एक इलेक्ट्रॉन मेटल में है, so definitely it is experiencing some force of attraction. अगर ये एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इसके पास जो मेटल सरफेस है, तो ये हमेशा एक फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन एक्सपीरियंस करेगा. सो जैसे लाइट इस इलेक्ट्रॉन को हिट करेगा, सो फर्स्ट दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन नीड्स टू ब्रेक ऑल द फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, और ये जैसे ही ब्रेक कर लेगा उसके बाद में दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन कैन मूव आउट. सो दैट इज व्हाई दिस मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड to break the force of attraction around the electron, it is called as threshold energy, and to have this frequency it is called as threshold frequency. So यहाँ पर हम कह सकते हैं अगर एक लाइट वेव आ रहा है and it is hitting the electron, so it needs to have the frequency greater than threshold frequency. मतलब एटलीस्ट ये जो लाइट वेव इसको हिट करेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन को, तो इस लाइट वेव के पास मिनिमम इतना अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी होना चाहिए कि ये सारे इलेक्ट्रॉन के जो बॉन्ड्स है या फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन है उसको वो ब्रेक कर सके, उसके बाद ये रिमूव हो पाएगा. सो हियर वी कैन से the photoelectric effect starts when the frequency of a light is greater than threshold frequency of metal. This is always fixed. In fact, the energy of a wave can vary, but the threshold energy or the threshold frequency will always remain constant for every metal. So these were the four observations which was made by Hertz with respect to photoelectric effect. Now after this, Albert Einstein was the scientist who noticed that the energy of an electron actually depends upon the frequency of the light used, and then he gave a relationship between the energy of an electron and the energy of the wave which is hitting it. So let's see the Einstein equation. Now let's see Einstein's photoelectric effect equation. He actually gave a relationship between the energy of the light coming and the energy of the ejected electron, and he said whenever we are increasing the energy of the wave which is hitting the electron, then the ejected electron will have a large amount of energy, and the ejected electron energy also depends upon the threshold energy of the metal. So he said that whenever we are doing photoelectric effect, we require three different types of energy. One will be energy of the wave, let's say it is E. Then second we have energy of the metal surface, which is threshold energy, which we will write it as E naught, and then we have thought the energy of a moving particle electron, and that is nothing but kinetic energy. So ये तीन टाइप के एनर्जी होंगे which will be present at the time of photoelectric effect. अब इन तीनों के बीच में रिलेशन कुछ ऐसा है that total energy of the wave it is actually threshold energy plus kinetic energy. ठीक है, so this was the equation which was given by Einstein. Then we know that according to Planck's quantum theory, we can write E is nothing but h mu, then it is h mu naught, and then this is half mv square. And if you want to calculate the energy of the ejected electron, that is kinetic energy, so here we can say that the kinetic energy is actually equal to h mu minus h mu. And we also know that mu can also be written as c by lambda. तो mu को हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं, it is h c by lambda minus h c by lambda naught. So these are different equations in which we can write our photoelectric effect energy relation. So this is one, then this is second, then here we can see the third one, and finally the fourth one. So ये total चार equation है to explain the photoelectric effect in the form of mathematical equation. So with this, it was proved that whenever there is electromagnetic radiation, when it is propagating, it will have the wave-like property, और जैसे वो किसी matter को hit करेगा, it will get the particle-like property. So that proves that the electromagnetic radiation has dual property, that is wave-like as well as the particle-like nature. And this property we'll see later on that it is also applicable or it is also present to some microscopic elements such as electron. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास भी ये डुअल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक वाली प्रॉपर्टी होंगी. So this was the first section which was included in Bohr's model. Now let's see the second section of Bohr's consideration for Bohr's model, that is experimental results of atomic spectrum. Now we are going to see the experimental evidence for atomic spectrum, and this, let's write the topic name. This is experimental evidence atomic spectrum. So we already had seen in the last topic that कि जब भी हमारे पास इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन होगा, so when it is propagating it will have a wave like nature, and when it interacts with the matter, जैसे वो matter से hit करेगा, so it will have particle like nature. So जैसे वो matter को hit करेगा, that is in particle like nature, it will have like the energy will be transferred from the wave to this matter. And can we say this matter will be made up of atoms and molecules? Of course. So ये atom और molecule जैसे ही energy absorb करेंगे, so they will go into excited state. So here we can say, let's say we have a matter here, ये हमारे पास matter है, and continuously the radiations are coming here. और जैसे ही hit करेंगे, they will transfer this energy to the matter. And in this matter, the atoms, molecules, and even subatomic particles, they will get excited because they will get extra amount of energy. और इसके वजह से they will become little bit unstable in nature. Because let's say अगर यहाँ पर different energy levels हैं किसी भी एक substance के अंदर, तो यहाँ पर हमने एक substance A लिया हुआ है, ठीक है? एक यहाँ पर atom A is there. When it absorbs or when it gets this energy, so it will go to the higher energy level. So let's say in second case, this has moved to this atom A has reached this level. But again, ये तो उसका natural state है नहीं, तो definitely it will come back to its natural state. So here, whenever it is coming back to its natural state, so it has to lose some energy. So ये energy यहाँ से lose करेगा, and when this energy is lost, this is called as emission. Energy is emitted. Here we can see energy emitted or emitted energy. ठीक है? And when this energy again it will be emitted in the form of a wave. ये wave के form में atom A जो होगा वो अपना energy lose करेगा. And whenever there is a wave like property, then definitely it will have different properties of wave also. So in this case, it will lead to formation of a color in the spectrum, and this will lead to our emission spectrum. Let's see what do we mean by emission spectrum. That is, whenever an atom has gone to excited state, और वो excited state वो जब वो नीचे आएगा अपने original position पे, so it has to lose some energy from the top position. पर जैसे वो अपना energy यहाँ से lose करेगा, ये energy यहाँ से lose करेगा, तो ये energy को अगर हमने इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम में मेजर करेंगे तो हमको मिलेगा एमिशन स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर एटम. Similarly, this happens for the atom also. Inside the atom also. कि let's consider कि हमारे पास एक atom है. Now in this case we have considered one single atom. And हमको पता है कि atom के अंदर बहुत सारे electron होते हैं. So let's say when this electron has accepted some energy and it has gone to some higher energy state. So let's say इसने थोड़ा सा higher energy state में चले गए. बट अगेन वहाँ तो अनस्टेबल होगा बिकॉज उसका इसने पहले तो एनर्जी ज़्यादा ले लिया और प्लस उसका वो नेचुरल पोजीशन था ही नहीं. तो जैसे वो अपने पोजीशन पे वापस रिटर्न आएगा तो उस टाइम पे उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को एनर्जी लूज करनी होगी और जैसे ही एनर्जी लूज करेगा इट विल शो एमिशन स्पेक्ट्रम. नाउ एमिशन स्पेक्ट्रम एक्चुअली हाउ इट हैपेंस इज कि दिस इज नथिंग बट अ पार्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम ओनली, but wherever energy are lost from this electron, so in that case some colored lines will be seen. For example, let's say यहाँ starting में लिखा है, यहाँ पर colored white color, that means here the electrons has emitted some energy, and wherever the energy is not lost, so in that case the dark lines will be present. So in this manner, just like a barcode आप देख सकते हो, किसी भी आप प्रोडक्ट अगर कभी खरीदते हो तो most of the product they will have a barcode. So in that same manner you can assume a emission spectrum in which the white lines will constitute the energy which is given out by the electron, और जो dark lines होंगे या जो dark spaces होंगे that is where the electron is not lost any energy. ठीक है, so this is our emission spectrum, पहले टाइप का spectrum. Second we have it as absorption spectrum. So हमने emission spectrum देख लिया. This is emission spectrum. And when you will take the negative of this emission spectrum, so that will give you absorption spectrum. That means यहाँ पर starting में ये white होगा, then this section will be here, it will be opposite, then again a line will be there, so again this will be in this manner and so on. So जैसे हम इसका negative लेंगे, let's say negative, so that will give you, this will give the absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum. Okay, so these are our two different type of spectrum that can be seen in any matter. Now again one important point that the emission and the absorption spectrum are actually not continuous in nature. आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो कि कुछ जगहों पर values present है but जो black वाले line से emission spectrum है वहाँ पर values नहीं present है. That means they are in the form of a discrete values are present, which means that they are not forming a continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum का example हम ले सकते हैं visible light. जैसे violet होता है, so violet के बाद में we have indigo, then we have blue, green. They are continuously present. एक जैसे ही खत्म होगा वहीं से दूसरा start हो जाता है. But in case of emission and absorption spectrum, there is no such property observed. That is why this is called as line spectrum. That means at particular position, lines will be present in which the electron is radiating, losing its energy. So emission or absorption spectrum is nothing but the line spectrum of the atom. Okay, so this was it, the atomic spectrum. Now for hydrogen molecule we'll see like what is the effect of this atomic spectrum or this emission and absorption spectrum on in case of hydrogen molecule. So let's see that. Now let's see separation of a hydrogen molecule, that is H2. यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं bracket में, let's say H2 is converted into H, two hydrogen atoms, and it will be in highly excited state. Because let's say hydrogen molecules हमने एक कंटेनर में लिया हुआ है और उस कंटेनर में we are continuously providing some energy in a very high voltage. So उससे ये होगा कि जो H2 molecules है इन दोनों के बीच का पहले तो बॉन्ड ब्रेक हो जाएगा और हाइड्रोजन के एटम के जो भी सब एटॉमिक पार्टिकल है which is electron, so that electron will absorb a very high amount of energy and it will go to some excited state. And in that case जैसे वो excited state से नीचे आएगा, so it will lose some energy and it will show emission spectrum because it will emit energy. So whenever there is emission of energy, it will show emission spectrum. ठीक है, so separation of hydrogen molecule. So here we can say hydrogen, when hydrogen will produce two hydrogen atom in presence of high voltage. ठीक है, and here यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं electron moves to excited state ठीक है। सो ये जो इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे दे विल मूव टू द एक्साइटेड स्टेट और हायर एनर्जी स्टेट। फिर उसके बाद जैसे ये इलेक्ट्रॉन comes to lower energy state, यहाँ पर हम लिखते हैं high energy and on right hand side we will write it as low energy. So here the electron needs to remove energy, so minus E we will write it as, let's say minus E. This will lead to emission spectrum. ठीक है। सो अभी आपको समझ गया होगा कि जैसे ही कोई भी एटम के अंदर का इलेक्ट्रॉन अगर एक हायर एनर्जी स्टेट पे पहुंच गया तो वो वापस डेफिनेटली अपने ओरिजिनल स्टेट पर आएगा ही, और जैसे वो नीचे आने की कोशिश करेगा उस टाइम पे इट हैज टू लूज सम एनर्जी, और ये एनर्जी लूज करेगा, इट विल हैव वेव प्रॉपर्टी एंड इट विल शो एमिशन स्पेक्ट्रम। सो बाल्मर वाज द फर्स्ट टू प्रूव दैट हम ये सारे कंसेप्ट को दैट इलेक्ट्रॉन का शिफ्टिंग वी कैन शो इन द फॉर्म ऑफ मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन विद द हेल्प ऑफ वेव नंबर. So we can write it as wave number mu bar is equal to 1 upon lambda. That is nothing but 109677 into 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. Where n1 यहाँ पर हम लिख सकते हैं n1 is lower energy state and n2 is high or high energy state. ठीक है, inside hydrogen atom. Now this was the Balmer series, and depending upon the discoverers, we have different series present inside the hydrogen atom. So this proves that the hydrogen atom or any atom internally it has different level of energy spectrum, and this will lead, these two important concepts will lead to the formation of Bohr's model. Now this wave number concept we can have for other atoms also. Here we can say wave number in general for any atom. So here it can be given as mu bar is equal to 1 upon lambda, that is nothing but r, which is Rydberg's constant. This value, it is nothing but r upon z square, where z is atomic number, into 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. So this is the formula that we have for wave number for any atom. For any atom. Okay? And also we have like n1 values, n2, these values are already fixed. And also we have the n1, n2, n3, n4, n5 and so on values, that is the name of this series already defined. So we have to remember the first 5 series of hydrogen atom. N1 is called as Lyman series, N2 is called as Balmer series, then N3 is called as Bastian series, then 4th is Brackett and 5th is Pfund. Okay? So out of this one is present into visible region. Okay. So only the Balmer series is of any atom it is present into the visible region. So this was all about the atomic spectrum that we first saw for hydrogen. पहले हमने देखा दो टाइप के स्पेक्ट्रम होते हैं, emission spectrum and absorption spectrum. Then we compared it with the hydrogen atom. Then we got a mathematical expression by Balmer, and then हमने देखे first 5 series के लिए नेमिंग, Lyman, Balmer, Bastian, Brackett and Pfund. So these are the first 5 spectrum series name. That's it for the video guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो अभी इसे लाइक कीजिए. अगर आपने YouTube चैनल पे हमें सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो अभी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. If you are watching this video on Facebook, then do like this video, do share it with at least 2 of your friends so that they will also get the benefit of these kind of videos. If you are watching this on Instagram, तो अभी हमारे पेज को फॉलो कीजिए. वहाँ पर आपको will get a variety of a content related to chemistry, related to other stuffs also. So see you in the next video. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.